Harper Lee, author of To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the most successful novels in American history, never published another book after it came out in 1960. Until Tuesday, that is, when Go Set a Watchman, Lee's 50-year-old, never-before-published novel, will be rolled out with the kind of secrecy not seen in the literary world since Harry Potter. Here with more is WSJ Books reporter Jennifer Maloney. Jennifer, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks.
First off, what is Amazon saying about the pre-sales of this book?
Amazon says that they have not had so many pre-orders for a print book since the last Harry Potter novel in 2007.
Incredible. And can you explain what's behind all of this excitement?
Well, this book was the first draft, the very first attempt that Harper Lee made at writing a novel. She submitted it to her publisher in 1957, and it featured the character that we know as Scout as an adult. And all of the same characters that we know from To Kill a Mockingbird were 20 years later in this original draft that she wrote. But her editor said it needed a lot of work and suggested that she expand on some flashbacks in this first draft and instead write a book about Scout as a girl. And the result was To Kill a Mockingbird, her classic.
So, of course, now everyone wants to see what happened to these characters 20 years later, what happened to Scout as a grown woman. Very interesting. Now, how are they managing this secret rollout? What kind of security are we talking about?
Well, this book is going to be released around the world on Tuesday, simultaneously, in more than 70 countries. And the secrecy has been at very high levels. Barnes & Noble told me that that it arrived at their distribution centers in the U.S. last week and was being kept in special secure areas, monitored by closed-circuit television. And then it would go out to bookstores where it would be kept under lock and key, shrink-wrapped in boxes, and still under cameras to make sure that no one gets this book before Tuesday.
And how many languages is it being translated into?
There are so many languages, and initially, on Tuesday, about half a dozen translations will be released, and then in the coming months, there will be more.
So we know that there were teams of translators who've read the book.
That's right.
There are publishers who've read the book. So everyone is just being incredibly tight-lipped?
They are. It's kind of shocking, but it has not leaked yet.
Interesting. And there's no advance word then on any sort of reviews, of course.
No, there have been no reviews. Booksellers say they haven't seen it, so they're buying it sight unseen.
Incredible. And it's obviously expected to do very, very well. Tell us a little about the controversy over publishing this book.
In February, HarperCollins announced that it was going to publish the newly rediscovered manuscript of Go Set a Watchman, and this sparked a fierce public debate, as well as a state investigation in Alabama over whether she has the mental acuity to consent to its publication. Authorities found or concluded that she does have the wits to consent to make her own decisions, but there's also a lot of debate about whether this is worthy of publication. It was originally rejected by her first publisher back in 1957.
Well, that's the other question I have for you. Is this the original manuscript, or is this a newly edited, improved version on that?
It has been very lightly edited, essentially just a light copy edit. But her publisher says that she made it clear that she didn't want it changed in any significant way. So basically, it is a historical document. It is something that she wrote and submitted in 1957, and we get to sort of look back in time to see the first thing that she wrote.
Amazing. And sales of To Kill a Mockingbird have also gone up as a result of this. Is that right?
They have. As soon as it was announced that this book, which is not essentially a sequel because it was written beforehand, but it's sort of the continuation of the story. So as soon as that was announced, sales of To Kill a Mockingbird spiked.
And of course, when it's rolled out on Tuesday globally, how exactly are the logistics going to work out?
So this has been a major global coordination effort. Many publishers at once are releasing this book. One publisher who is putting out the British edition, which is going all around the world, told me that usually it takes 2 months to ship to Azerbaijan, but to get it there on time for the Tuesday release, they're sending it by air courier.
Incredible. All right, well, Jennifer, we know that you have already read the first chapter, which we know you can't talk about. So thank you for that. And that's because on Friday, the Wall Street Journal will have an exclusive excerpt. The first chapter of Go Set a Watchman will be available online on WSJ.com. Publisher HarperCollins is also owned by our parent company, News Corp.